On flat screen, Inzoi is a photorealistic powerhouse, and I'd almost given up on playing Inzoi in VR, but there's been a recent update within the last week that has made me have another look at playing this game. So these are the settings I'm going to use today, and we're going to see how Inzoi plays using UEVR using these settings you can see on the screen. Hello, welcome, you're watching Headset VR, welcome to the channel, welcome to another gaming video. Today I'm going to be running through Inzoi and we're going to be using UEVR using the settings listed at the start of the video and see how it plays. Now just to be clear, Krafton haven't released an official VR version. This is basically an experiment using the UEVR injector tool. My first few attempts weren't that great, the graphics didn't look brilliant, it was a little bit choppy at some points. So today I'm going to give it another try using UEVR after a recent update. So putting the headset back on, it was a night and day difference, it was a little bit unplayable at some points. But in its place, this is now a stable and beautifully deeply immersive world. The first thing I've noticed on here was how stable this was when I've been playing it. I think perfect is probably a bit extreme to say, but it's a very impressive world. The facial detail on the characters, I'm not getting any issues with aliasing on here as well, and it all looks very good. Now the obvious thing on here really is it may seem a little bit on the fiddly side with all the millions of different buttons, but that's coming from me when I don't play this on a regular basis. So I'm sure getting used to this will be something that will change how fiddly it may seem. So when you have a bit of a walk around in this game, you can see I'm not skipping any frames. I was getting about 72 FPS here, which I was very happy with. Now there isn't a profile for UEVR at all. I've just basically injected and used standard settings, but I can upload what I've used if you request it to the free Patreon, and you can try out what I was doing here. So Inzoi in VR, is it a perfect polish experience? Well, no it's not. I mean, it is an unofficial mod and the story has changed now, so it's not an experiment where you're fighting to get the graphics to be as perfect as possible. You're fighting to keep a solid stable frame rate. So basically the recent updates over the last few months have got this to be a lot more of a playable game. So yeah, if you do want to play a life sim in VR, now's as good a time as any to give this a check out. But it is still very much a work in progress, so you can't get sixed off or anything like that. You can't attach to a pawn because there aren't any pawns to attach to or anything like that. But the camera, the lighting, the performance, this is a pretty good turnaround. And you can see when I get quite close in here, you can see the detail on the faces. Like I say, it isn't perfect. There's always going to be something that someone will find to say, what about this, what about this? But I was very impressed with how this looked, how this felt. Like I say, it just needs perhaps a bit of work to get it to something that's perhaps a lot more of a solid playable game really in VR. But I mean, there's no reason why you can't jump in, play and enjoy this game in a VR headset using Playdog's UEVR. Now, of course, I'm sure on some of the lower end cards this may well struggle. I'm using an RX 7900 XTX GPU and a Ryzen 9 7900 CPU, and I'm playing this using the PSVR 2 headset. So it does look great, it plays pretty well using OpenVR as your rendering method, but it's not one of those supremely immersive games where you'll actually feel like you're in the world, because it's not that kind of game. So don't expect your brain to get tricked and thinking this is highly immersive. It's just a very good, stable game that you can now play as a live sim, and maybe you might need a bit more of a powerful PC. You know, mine hasn't changed since the last time I played this, but it seems the quality of performance has. So before you may have been getting guaranteed headaches, there is now an achievable goal. As you can see from here, it's very playable, and although I've only played a short 15 minutes, I will have to come back and test in some of the built up areas like the cities and things like that. But so far, just floating around in the apartment, it all looks pretty good. It all looks pretty good. So anyway, if this does give you the incentive to maybe look at playing this game in VR again, that's great. Do give me some response in the comments what your thoughts are. Are you going to try this again? But otherwise, I'd like to just say thank you for watching. I hope this has maybe inspired you to try this game again in VR. If it has, like I say, give us some feedback in the comments. If you want to see more VR related games like this, then feel free to subscribe. That's what you're going to see on the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. I'll just let my character finish her tea, and then we're going to have a bath and we're going to go off to bed. So, we'll see you soon. Take care. Enjoy the meal. The video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.